seconds remaining. Navi's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Ember spirit.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Luna. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Navi's turn to pick.
Well, Game 1 might be one of the most remarkable comebacks from an early game deficit I've ever witnessed from any team, let alone from Navi, without a doubt. The most remarkable comeback from that kind of a deficit I've ever seen out of that squad. Game 2, Cloud9 just shrugged it off and said, that's fine, we're going to pick a tough-to-execute lineup and make it work for us. And damn well they did. The game was close for a while, but just spiraled completely out of control on the back of a unique build on Eternal Envy's Wraith King. And of course, excellent play once again out of Sing Sing, Bone 7, hell, the whole crew played a hell of a game of Dota. Now we're going the distance. Game 3 of Navi versus C9, the last game of our C9 doubleheader today. They lost their first series to EG, and to be honest, they kind of got routed throughout the whole thing. This time, though, matching up against Navi, it's like they woke up both figuratively and literally. They've been playing on point, and even though Navi did take the Game 1 win, based on what we saw in Game 2, can't imagine they'll be slouching here in our final game of the day. I'm your host here in AC Chambers. Welcome in once again for insight and analysis. Trouf Dota and Trouf, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we were both kind of shocked by how well Navi was able to turn around Game 1. But Game 2, Cloud9, they just knew what they were out to do, and I think it was phenomenal play across the board, really. They took away pretty much every major tool that Navi had to try and shut down their cores, and did it with style at that.
Game 1 was crazy, no doubt about it. Like you mentioned, I haven't seen a comeback like that in so long, and you kept mentioning, oh, you wouldn't be surprised if you saw the 10-minute GG. I thought we were going to see a record-breaking GG just of how dominant Aoi was on the Treant Protector early on, but unfortunately for C9, Navi came back in that one. But in Game 2, yeah, it was just so many blinks. Lots of good blinks and stuns coming out from Cloud9 that caught Navi off guard. I mean, 4 blinks, tons of stuns and slows, and good stuns and slows, not bad stuns and slows, good ones, and it just really kind of plowed over Navi's lineup. And again, you can talk about Shadowblade on the Shadowblade pickup on Funnick all you want, and maybe a different item build could have changed the game a bit, but I think that C9 just had their number that game and just outplayed them, honestly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the conclusion of this match. We have a lot of cores picked up here early on. Dazzle finally being picked up by Cloud9, and this goes back to what I said last game about bouncing back from an unfortunate first loss, is going back to things that C9's comfortable with. And Luna and Invoker, I know that they're both comfortable with that, so we'll have to see how this game pans out.
I'll tell you what I would love to see out of Cloud9. You know, you see Navi, you see them go Ember, Spear, and Centaur. Obviously, Dendi can play it just fine. Traditionally, though, it's a Havost hero, and, you know, he's been clamoring all day about how he wants to play. You see Centaur, you assume off-lane Funnick Centaur. and that would not be unexpected. If that's the case, you can kind of start to predict their lanes a little bit. It'll just be a defensive lane to help protect the Ember while he tries to farm. And if they do end up going in that direction and not running it on Dendi, there's a pretty big opening with the Luna and the Dazzle. If they pick a Shadow Demon, as we saw, we've seen EG execute that combination so well. The Dazzle Shadow Demon combination being able to disrupt and Shadow Wave on top of the illusions on top of the other hero and just do a hell of a lot of burst damage, especially to an Ember Spirit who is not the tankiest and really not all that survival at all until he hits level 6. Of course, Flame Shield will help with that a bit, but then you have to factor in Luna's Aura. The fact that it would be a triple ranged lane with the Lunar Blessing to help give base attack damage, and that's one of the things that makes Luna one of those heroes that does need to be kind of kept safe and babied a little bit, or you can run her kind of a YOLO style if you feel really, really confident, because it is not a percentage-based bonus like you see with, say, Avenge. You see a flat damage bonus, which means it's phenomenal already at level 1. So I think Cloud9 already with this draft has an excellent chance to really take it to Na'Vi and start to pressure them right from the get-go.
Yeah. Puppy taking a lot of time with that last pick there, and it is going to be a Wind Ranger for him. Well, not last pick, but that last one he picked up. It's going to be the Wind Ranger for him. Probably a support here, and as you mentioned, you're most likely going to see Centaur being played by Funnick in the offlane. I believe we saw him play that earlier this week, and he did fantastic things with it.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, I've seen like everyone play that hero do fantastic things with it. This hero has, again, I don't know percentages and I could be wrong, but I feel like it's got a very high win percentage. The ultimate just seems to be utilized by many teams in a very, very good way. And it always seems like there's just some way to get a kill with it early on, right when you hit 6, because of its low cooldown and its effectiveness in any situation. So I really like the Centaur pickup. I feel for Cloud9 now, with the Dazzle pickup, is perhaps a little bit more lockdown for the Ember. I haven't seen too many teams be able to pick up Ember because it just gets banned out so fast. And Puck is very good for that. Having a Blink Silence is a very, very good tool for Ember, so that he can't go immediately to those remnants.
It does kind of make you wonder how they're going to lane it. I would say having both the Invoker and the Puck in the same lane, you can. I've seen Pucks recently. I can't remember who I saw do it, but Puck run at the head of an offensive tri-lane. It can work. I know. Go ahead. I
know EG has run it actually as a core when Mason was playing it.
Yep, exactly.
I think
that's who it was. It was EG.
Yeah, I think C9. I believe they're one of the teams that still run him as an offlane. I'm not 100% sure with that, but yeah, judging by the heroes, we're gonna have some kind of different thing come out. But you're right, it could be a safe lane Puck and like Invoker mid offensive tri-lane. They have options, I think, is the important thing. So
yep. So far as Na'Vi's draft, I'm a little intrigued as to where Wind Ranger is going to wind up. That's a Dendi hero. He does run that hero mid sometimes. And when
true, yeah.
And I think that could be the answer. I'm just honestly trying to figure why. What she gives you that perhaps other mids wouldn't. Yeah, there's the Havost hero. That's definitely going to be played by Havost. That's just his jam. So I honestly am I don't know. Like that would seem to indicate a mid Ember Spirit with a farming Spectre.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But then the Wind Ranger, I mean, she can be played as a lane support. You just don't see it all that often.
I actually think she's better as a support than an off lane, in my opinion.
At this stage of the game, I could give that to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like as a core, she doesn't offer as much as other cores can or should. But as a support, I think that because here's it, like her shackle shot's as good as a support as it is as a carry. Like it does the same thing.
Right.
So if you're able to utilize her as a support effectively, I think it's a little bit more, well, effective for lack of a better word. But Spectre, it is a bit greedy, especially when you see Luna and Dazzle, because it is, as you mentioned, it could be an offensive tri-lane, which is very good against melee heroes like Spectre that aren't that strong in the laning phase. So I'm very curious to see what Na'Vi picks up last. I think it's going to be a very important hero.
Yeah, it's going to set the entire tone, because what I'm thinking is, you could put together, even if it depends on how confident you feel, especially after the last pick, that you're going to see tri-lane aggression. Like I kind of define tri-lane aggression just as they're going to seek you out and try to 3-on-3. It doesn't matter if it's off lane, safe lane, whatever. Wherever that fight happens to be, they're going to try to take it to you. And if that's the case, they could do something wonky, like run the The Ember Spirit mid makes the most sense, but then put the Spectre as a solo safe if you can adequately anticipate who she'll be farming in front of and feel like that's a good
10
matchup.
seconds remaining.
And then just run an aggressive, basically, for lack of a better way to put, like a 3
5
support or
seconds remaining.
three half-core sort of a tri-lane with the Centaur and the Wind Ranger, and then you can just split the farm or get farm priority to one, or if it gets too hairy, let the Wind Ranger farm for distance because she is so escapable and is so survivable. So I actually feel like this is a very ambiguous and very flexible draft out of Na'Vi. I really like it. I want to see who ends up on what hero, and I really want to see how Cloud9 finishes out their lineup here. That's going to tell us a whole lot with this last pick.
Yeah, I think Navi's got the harder lineup right now to execute properly,
For sure.
but if they do, it's going to pay dividends. And Puppy, he was listening to you clearly
5
because this
seconds
last ban is the
remaining.
Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to have any kind. And the thing about Shadow Demon is not necessarily in the laning phase,
Navi's
although he is
turn
good
to pick.
because you can set up those heal bombs. But it's just very, very good initiation onto Ember if you have a stun ready to go or the silence ready to go from Puck. So good ban out there. But more lockdown for that Ember Spirit is the Shadow Shaman, which is a support. It's like the support hero of the month, I want to say, as we've seen it. Well, not even support, as we've seen it, mid and carry, although that did flop a little bit for Cloud9, but
Yep.
still a very, very good hero
10
all around.
seconds
I
remaining.
really like Rasta, and I've been saying that for a while now. Going back to even when I was filling in for Toby and doing D2CL casts, Jakiro's a fun pick, and it's going to be Sonic on the Centaur as we expected. Havost is there. Yeah, Dendi will be taking the Ember Spirit mid. The question is, where do these three end up? I think they're going to try to intentionally lane into Cloud9. I think that's the plan here. Because you've just...
So you mean you think they're gonna go safe lane with a tri lane, or
I think they're just going to seek out Cloud9's tri-lane, regardless of where they put it. Like, wherever they put their tri-lane, I think they're going to go after it. Pylai Dai is going to be on the Shadow Shaman. Sing Sing's going to run the Invoker mid, so he won't be on the Shadow Shaman this time. And we'll see who's going to be on the Puck. That'll tell us a little bit more. But yeah, think about the Centaur, the Jakiro, and the Wind Ranger here. Those are two tanky heroes and one that's really tough to bring down. You've got good AoE stuns on two, and you've got a potential 2-target stun on one of them.
10
You've got good
seconds
AoE
remaining.
spam with Breathe Fire, or not Breathe Fire, but Dual Breath and the
5
Power
seconds
Shot.
remaining.
You've also got Double Edge. So, I mean, their ability to burst the hero down with a Double Edge, a Power Shot, and pretty much anything Jakiro wants to throw out is really going to be very, very high. So this is a very lethal tri-lane if they decide to run it that way. Again, this is all conjecture at this point. We need to see who's on what. Puppy Avos, Funnick. Yeah, Kuro is going to be on the Wind Ranger. So I think that's what they may want to do. They could dual lane it too. I mean, depending on how confident they feel against C9's draft.
yeah, I think that Navi's just gonna go for the safe lane tri lane with Spectre and pool up Funnick and just have him go top lane against whoever that might be. And I feel like C9 has to make the decision: is do we go against it, try to take advantage of the fact that Spectre's not very good in lane, or do we take the safe approach, get Luna free farm, get your supports, namely Shadow Shaman, some good levels in farm, and just take over towers with level 6 ultimate on Shadow Shaman once he gets it. And that might be smarter, but of course, leaving Spectre free farm is like one of the scariest heroes in the game, if not the scariest hero to leave with free farm, because of what he can wreak havoc to the squishy supports that C9 has when Spectre does get farmed. So yeah, I feel like maybe the former is a better option, that being to go against the Spectre. But it's very, very delicate, because if they screw up, then it's like it's very, very difficult to come back from that. So they're going to have early wards coming out as fast as they can if they do want to go aggro. And yeah, I think Invoker should win against the Ember Spirit mid. It's kind of a wash. We haven't seen that matchup too many times for the reason simply that Ember gets banned out so much. So, and actually Invoker does too, now that I think about it.
Oh, we're waiting for a moment. It seems that there was an emergency that...
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a potty emergency. Likely whenever you have series go this long. Nonetheless, as we wait for him to come back, I'll do this again at the end of the broadcast, but I'm sure everyone who's been listening, Tralf, has loved your insight and your analysis and your commentary, and I'm sure they'd love to figure out where they can find out more about you, perhaps watch your stream, and keep up with you via social media and all those other weird things that the young kids do. But by the way, how old are you? I got to find out if I'm the old man in this case.
I'm old man fear status. I'm 26.
Oh, old man fear. Dude, I'm 29. I'm going to be 30 in like a few months. See, April. Yeah, I'm going to be 30 in like 8 months. That's terrifying.
Well, my birthday is May 1st coming up, so
oh,
yeah.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, we'll have to hopefully I don't know, we were talking about maybe making a visit to the Bay Area in the near future. If so, then I'd love to take you out, buy you a beer, and do the goofy things that men do for each other on their birthday.
Oh, I'm an avid beer drinker, that's for sure.
It looks like Nahaz might have us trumped on all of those counts. So, but anyway, go ahead, drop the deets, man. Where can they find you?
Yeah, my Twitter is at TralfDota, and my Twitch, and I'm hoping to start streaming a lot more, although Canadian internet's pretty crappy, and I haven't had problems lately in the last day, though, so looks like it seems to have fixed itself, but my stream is www.twitch.tv/Tralf.
You're from Vancouver, right?
I'm actually from Seattle, but I'm living in Vancouver with my girlfriend right now, so.
Oh, very good. That's right. It's your anniversary was yesterday. By the way, just so you know, my girlfriend, kind of got mad that I gave your girlfriend the heart over stream. And
what?
Yeah, for real. And I think it was egged on by Twitch chat. She was since it was a Sunday cast, she was actually sitting at home.
I see. Yeah.
She was sitting at home watching the broadcast since it was Sunday and she had a day off. And because she's an awesome girlfriend who tunes into my casts whenever I'm out and she's in. But yeah, she was hanging out, and I did it, and she said she kind of wrinkled her nose, just kind of playfully. Then Twitch chat went berserk, and she didn't like it. Didn't like it much. So be nice, you jerks, all of you. Did your girlfriend ever tune into your cast, man, or is she just kind of a?
Oh yeah, all
awesome.
the time.
She a gamer? She a big gamer?
Yeah, we actually met each other back in Han. This is how we met each other. So.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Way back in 3 years ago, but. Yeah, it's been good.
Way back. Oh yeah, I know how that feels. No, that's cool, man. So does she play Dota with you?
I feel like it's honestly for gamers the best way to get along with someone because you already know what that person's all about, right? So that's already on the table. That's my philosophy anyway.
Yep, I totally agree. Sherry's not the biggest gamer in the world. She's been playing the hell out of some Rayman lately, and has actually gotten me to get a little competitive. They have these world leaderboards for on time stages, and it's kind of fun to try to min max and get it down to the literal 10th of a second. But not the biggest gamer, but she is definitely of the gamer ilk. I think if she just played more games, she'd be into it. She actually works at BitTorrent now, so she's a developer, coder, all that fun stuff. So she's definitely a part of the quote-unquote nerd culture. But enough about our personal lives, and I'm sure Twitch chat hopes there's never another pause because I doubt they want to hear much more about about what's going on at home for either of us. We're going to see both teams move out right off the bat, and they're heading towards the same piece of real estate. Very quick, level 1, who you give the advantage to in team fight?
Oh boy, let's see here quickly. There's a lot of ranged heroes, and you already have the aura up for EE, so I would have to say C9 unless one of them gets caught out by a stun, which they shouldn't. So. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to die here. I think this is going to be just a bit of stalemate, although I could
they're going to fall back and regroup. Bone might go. EE was a little far forward there. Took about one step, once again, pretty far forward. Dendi hasn't placed a skill point yet, neither has Havost. So if your ward goes down, they might try to catch up with the supports. There's a Spectral Dagger. That's going to help them track him down. Funix right there with him, has Stomps.
Boots.
It's going to be close. They're going to try to turn the corner. There's going to be the Poison Touch to slow him down. Dendi trying to get into range. There's the Searing Chains. Can he get him? Yes, he got one of them. Stomp to follow it up as well. And the Ice Path Shackle Shot. And yeah, that's what I was talking about during the draft. They got a whole lot of stuff. Hang on. Kuro caught by the Shackles. Bone 7 pecking away, but the rest of the team not quite clear of the battle. Turns to bail him out. First blood goes to Na'Vi.
Begins.
I did not know that Ember Spirit's movement was this high. I feel like there's just another thing that's good about this hero, if not anything or everything. Yeah, 310. So he was able to get in range. I thought he had boots too, but he's just a fast hero and able to get in range for the Searing Chains, and then started off the stun from Funix. So yeah, nice play there from Na'Vi.
Pylai dies and end up starting in mid lane here next to Dendi, and there's Shackles right off the bat. Sing Sing. First point into Quas, and still getting a lot of damage done, going to force him to spin that salve very early into the game. And as the lanes take shape, Funix actually keeping an eye on things right now. Here we go. Spots Pylai die. Shackles are off cooldown. Funix has to stomp on the ready. Will spin it right here. And here comes Dendi. He's got Searing Chains, but no way to get on top of him. Doesn't have Sleight of Fist yet, and yep, not going to be able to make it to the high ground. Funix being very aggressive here, and is going to shove him all the way up under his own tower. So Funix up in the some damage. We see Bone 7 and AUI in this dual lane down at bottom. It's going to be 2-on-3, so as you said, not opting for full aggression. Havost low mana, caught with the Poison Touch, and we'll take some more auto attack damage. Kuro is actually quite low. Puppy, though, now rotating is over. And wow, Shadow Shaman in mid, helping to get a return kill. Now, Funnick's going to land the stomp. Might be able to bring him down. Should be able to bring him down. One more auto attack will do it. Question is, what will it cost him? Nothing, as Dendi's there to force Sing Sing back. And Sing Sing trying to get cute, moving forward. One more auto attack, but Funnick was tanking. So, oh, there's the cold snap. Funnick,
oh, wow.
So close, and can't watch anywhere. Now there's a shackle that catches AUI at bottom. There's already been one kill take place. Avos right on his tail. One more auto attack brings him down. Bone 7. Phase shifting out of the Desolate damage, but Avos still getting a couple more auto attacks in. And already 6 kills and 1 minute and 45 seconds. Not too shabby if you're a Dota fan.
Well, the dual lane traded kills bottom, so that's actually pretty good for the dual lane. It's a little unfortunate that Havos wasn't able to get the last hit, because then it would have been worth it for Na'Vi. I mean, we saw a similar thing, as you mentioned, at EG doing a dual lane against the tri-lane, and the reason for this is just they know that 2 heroes are actually going to be able to do something, whereas 1 hero is not going to.
Ice Path on the mark, as are the Searing Chains in mid. There's a cold snap to help slow things down. Puppy, only level 1, doesn't have dual breath. And Sing Sing will be able to make it to safety because of that. Might have had a chance to track him down if he had dual breath up, but not the case. There we have potential engagement on Funnick. Pilot Eye has a DD, has shackles on the ready, but it doesn't look like anyone's coming. There's a stomp and a couple of right clicks. It looks like Funnick, yeah, not liking the way that looked or felt, decides to fall back. So we've got action absolutely everywhere. Taking a look at the early CS, we can see EE.
Oh, mid.
More action as Sing Sing could end up dead. 14 CS for EE, so he's in great shape coming out of this lane down at bottom. Havos going to be hit with a poison touch right underneath his own tower up at top. Funnick not going to be dove. Just watching the minimap, looked like they might have thought about it, but this is intense, man. Absolutely everywhere. They are both just swinging for the fences.
I know, we need like 3 cameramen with 3 separate monitors just like catch everything, because there's stuff happening on every side of the map. But oh, Dendi's getting gone on right now. Cold Snap's still active, but Sing Sing's not able to finish off a kill. Yeah, very aggressive everywhere, but at least for the leaderboards as far as CS goes, Eternal Envy racking it up with 20 and 6.
Yep.
So definitely leading the charge there.
And this is working out for him. I like the dual lane approach, and really thought we'd see a bit more aggression. And I think Na'Vi anticipated that too, given the way they drafted, especially banning out that Shadow Shaman last. But for now, there's more Searing Chains, and Sing Sing going to eat some damage there. Has his bottle back. Nope, never mind. Thought he did. Thought he had a bottle coming back from the courier, but not the case. And we're going to see Funnick eating some damage now from EE. Didn't have the mana for a Lucid Beamer. I think he would have dove there.
Yeah, and although they're not actually getting that much CS in this bottom lane from Cloud9, they're preventing a lot of CS on Hovost, which I think is the main objective for them. So they, at least for Na'Vi, they were able to get rid of this war that was blocking the camp. So they're gonna be able to pull this through, get some extra experience and farm for their supports and Hovost.
Illusion. And
that also frees up some good levels for Hovost. So he's level 5 in his tri-lane versus dual lane. I know Puppy was helping out mid for a while, but good levels on Hovost at the very least.
And Bone's going to get eyes on Hovost. A little bit of damage on Kuro's right there with him. Shackle phase shifted. Nice play. Ice Path, though. A little late as we saw him jaunt to the low ground. Very heads-up play from Bone. And did what damage he could that got the hell out of dodge.
I think in the shackle, he was trying to like look for an actual shackle shot to latch, but I think if they actually shot it at the same time, oh, actually Funnick's in a little bit of trouble.
Shackle to top, AUI there with the poison touch. Eternal Envy was going to say didn't have a Lucent Beam, but didn't need it when Pilot Eye's got 2 points in the Ether Shock. Nice amount of damage output. 4-3, and Cloud9 continuing to hit and hit hard early.
Yeah, and look at that. Eternal Envy has the most pro wins in 6.8 on Luna from.
And that surprised me. In preparation, hold that thought. Cloud9 once again rotating to mid. Puppy's right there with him, though. Puppy's actually pretty low health. He could be an easy kill. Here we go. Pilot Eye going to get off the Ether Shock. Boys Rush behind it. We see Dendi got off the Searing Chain. Sing Sing will not quite die. He's alive for the moment and will be able to make it away. In the meantime, they bring down Dendi's Ember Spirit, and Puppy, one hit from dead, ends up dying anyway to the poison touch. And this is going for the 3rd game in a row, heavily Cloud9's way right off the bat. But what I was going to say, when you look at where Cloud9 stands in all the tournaments in which they're participating, they're right at the top, if not at the top. And I think the lowest is like, at least last time I checked, was like 3rd overall in Star Ladder. So they have been really just winning and winning often everywhere you look. And now they're going to collapse. Trying to catch Pilot Eye behind his own tier 1 and using the Remnant to catch up with him. And yep, Searing Chains just to secure the kill. And here's the convergence. AUI throws out the Shadow Wave, not a lot of damage. Bone's not yet level 6, can't spend a coil. and he will just jaunt to safety as the rest of Na'Vi decides to fall back to their own jungle.
That was such a good play by Aoi, by the way. That if it wasn't for Aoi, then Sing Sing definitely would have died earlier. It was really good too because they were coming in with the flank behind Na'Vi, and then he noticed that Sing Sing was in a lot of trouble, and he just totally shift his focus to helping out Sing Sing. Got a very, very clutch heal inside the game. Dendi's in a lot of trouble in mid.
Oh, got silenced out, but he had a whole team behind him. They still managed to bring him down. Can they get a return kill on Sing Sing? There's going to be the haunt in from Havost, who's ready to engage. Bone 7 can't jaunt. He's being pursued out, and even though Bone got a double kill when all was said and done, AUI right there, though, using the Shadow Wave and the Grave. So Havost ends up coming away wanting. Up the top, we see the push is underway with Pile Die, not yet 6, and EE. They wouldn't need the wards anyway. In mid, they may decide to push back into that tower. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though. So already a tower down at top, 8-5. Cloud9 maintains a 3-kill lead. The Dendi's back up. And aggression everywhere. We're talking 13 kills in 7 minutes, almost 2 a minute. There's searing chains on the AUI behind the tower. Kuro, though, not going to try to follow up with anything.
This Luna is going to become a humongous problem for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
He's got 52 CS at 7 minutes, and they've already pushed the tower. And that's impressive because oftentimes when you're trying to be very adamant about pushing towers, you're going to miss CS just because you want to push as fast as possible. He gets hit by an ice path, but he should be okay. So yeah, this Luna is just so freaking farmed right now.
Yeah, it's 52, 55 CS, and the thing is, most of that's been lane CS too. It's not like we saw a very impressive shot of Arteezy at 94 at like 11 minutes. But that had to do, he moved into the jungle, hit some jungle stacks and all of that, and that helps with the races. This is basically him just sitting in lane and CSing the entire time. And Envy is getting miles and miles ahead. If you take a look, oh yeah, look at the net worth, man. 1,300 gold in the grand scheme isn't worth that much. 1,300 gold at just 8 minutes in is a gigantic lead. And now we're going to have Bone throwing the coil and the jump. This is a kill on Havost. This is very good news for C9. That's the one hero that they really have to worry about, even with EE doing as well as he is. If they can just continually pick him off once every 3 or 4 minutes, they're going to be in phenomenal shape. Funnick now right on the tail of Pile Die. Doesn't have ultimate up quite yet either. Everyone's been moving so much, no one can find a level 6. Pile Die has his. He could drop the wards and might. Shackles him. No one's coming. No one's coming. They're going to kill me, he's yelling. Here we go. Double edge. Oh, the creep's in the way, and he's going to make it away. Nope, here comes the Spectre Illusions. Oh, Havost, so greedy. Comes in now. Funnick looping back around, doing desolate damage to Sing Sing. In the meantime, the rest of Na'Vi is pushing in mid, and I actually expected a bigger response out of Cloud9 as soon as Havost came in, but there was none. In the meantime, Dendi and Puppy have been going to work on the tier 1 in mid. Sing Sing still up and alive for the moment. AUI didn't have a TP. Gonna imagine that's why he wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know if he had the gold initially, because the only reason he has gold now, I feel, is because of some recent CS and the tower push bottom. And yeah, I think C9's focus was just the tower bottom, and I think he could have maybe tried to go for like the Hex into the Mass Serpent wards, but I'm not sure if he had quite enough mana. But good little turnaround play there for Na'Vi. Got a kill for Havost, but look at the supports. Like this Ember is like just a little bit above the Dazzle right now, and actually just a couple minutes ago Dazzle was up on him in net worth. So very interesting game so far. Dendi hasn't been able to have a really huge impact this game unless he's 0-3-2 on Ember.
Havost out front. Here comes Paradise, Sing Sing and company. There's going to be an ice path caught just Sing Sing, and they've got here comes Envy. Envy, don't know if that's a Lucid Beam. Yep, here we go. John, no coil. No, he has the coil if he wants to spin it, and will. Just on a single target. If he's right there with him, still has his ultimate. Ice Path doesn't do much of anything as the rest of Na'Vi has to fall back. So Cloud9 just continuing to take what they're given and capitalize on it. Down at bottom, Havost looks to be getting a Vanguard as he's picked up an early ring of health.
Yep, and Dazzle's down here just healing, waving the creeps, getting some experience when he can, popping in there for the last hit when it dies. And look at that, he's just sitting. The range of that is just immense from Dazzle's Shadow Wave. It's very, very far. And he TP's top, and they're looking to do some 4-man or 5-man Dota. Wards are deployed. And it's going to be hard to fight into a Luna that has his ult.
Yep. Funnick's not level 6 yet. That is hurting bad. Kuro is not level 6 yet. There's an ice path from Puppy out of the trees. Caught a lot, but no follow-up. How do you follow up? There we go. That's how Dendi manages to bring down Pilot Eye. Good power shot caught too. There's a weave, though, coming out from AUI, and the ultimate. That Eclipse doing all the damage they need. 2 for 1 the exchange, and they managed to get Hobos behind the fight and the tower for sure to drop. Question up with the, nope, not going to be denied. And Dendi now, oh, almost dodged the Sunstrike by virtue of the stutter step, but instead brought down as well. 14-7, and Cloud9 has blown this game wide open. And look at the net worth on Cloud9 as a whole, but on Eternal Envy especially. He's up to 7,000 gold. He is more than doubling that of the Ember Spirit and just about doubling it of Havost.
And there's a reason why they have high win rates with these heroes, man. It's because they're comfortable with them. They're really, I mean, the stats don't lie. I mean, when we had that stat come out about EE's Luna, he plays it very well, and he farms just so well in this hero. Doesn't seem to miss any last hits in lane. You got to commend him for that, because while it seems like a very self-explanatory and easy thing to do, there are a lot of times when, you know, some pro players are under-farmed in CS as far as the laning phase go, but EE got like every single one of them, it seemed.
Yep.
And he's very meticulous about that. He's not going for a greedy build, and I've seen him play this a lot lately, and he hasn't been going for very greedy builds. He wants to fight early with this team. And with the Luna, it's very, very effective with that ultimate every single time it's up. So I really like the way he's been playing it. I know that C9's used to it, and this is why they're just kind of rolling over Na'Vi early stages of the game.
Buckler on the way to Sing Sing. And I think that's an interesting choice, taking the Invoker, getting him the mech instead of the supports, and this is why. Early Medallion on AUI, that's going to allow them to take this Roche much more reliably, allowing... I'm going to imagine Pile I Die is probably working on a mobility item for Stafford Blink Dagger, just so he can serve as initiation, counter-initiation, a way to get right on top of the Ember Spirit. What the hell happened to Puppy, by the way? Just noticed he was very low health. But nonetheless, that's a free Roshan. And Cloud9 is playing this so tight. Their decision-making, their movement, everything is just so incredibly good.
Now, they can't take things for granted, though. I've seen a number of Na'Vi games where Spectre, where this has been the situation, and Spectre just comes back and just decides to, oh, I'm going to carry the game now. And he gets some good items, gets some good pickoffs, and I mean, it's very easy to do that because of the desolate damage that you get. And if any time they're spread out and you can get a good pickoff with like a Centaur ulti plus, you know, Ember Spirit gets to initiate with a Searing Chains, you can go for a couple little pickoffs here and there. So, oh, Dendi is getting, oh no.
Oh, the coil a little bit late and able to make it away to his remnant. So Dendi dodging a bullet there, but the tower not quite as fortunate. Just heard a Sunstrike somewhere, not even sure where it was. But they're not done, and why would they be? They're pushing. Envy basically, like, he needs 300 gold, and he'll have a BKB. He'll have a BKB, drums, Aquila, and treads all up at like 15 minutes. No doubt about it. Bone actually just got a kill somewhere. I didn't even see how he did it. But
that was a play.
And now pushing the tier 2 in mid, and they don't even care about Macro Pyre. They know exactly how far ahead they are. And the Remnant up on the high ground, not a deterrent either. There's Searing Chains to do some damage. No, Pile I said, the hell with mobility. I want a Scepter. He picked up a point booster now to go down the woods. And we're, yep, Puppy's caught out. And Bone's right there with him. This is getting ugly, as Dendi can do nothing but look on. Doesn't even have up drums yet. Doesn't have drums up yet.
Look at the war damage. It's just melting that tier 3 tower. Ult hasn't even been used from EE, by the way.
God, Kuro just ate half his health from one Lucent Beam and some wards. And this is out of control. They're already at the racks at 15 minutes in. There's going to be some Searing Chains. One got Bone, the rest, no, and never mind, he got 2 creeps. Thought one got Bone. What a good phase shift out of Bone. Don't know that would have gone. Anyway, Funna comes in, hits the stop. They're going to try to initiate. And Eternal Envy has his ultimate. Will he use it? Sing Sing pecking away at Havos. The Envy has held on to the Eclipse, has not spent it yet. There's a Shackle that catches Sing Sing and Eternal Envy. Macro Pyre's there. Funna comes in to help clean it up, but ends up paying with his own life as the double-edged damage a little too much. Bone's actually going to make it away with that Aegis for, oh, what a shot.
Oh, wow.
Kuro shot about that max range and got Bone. He will end up having to jaunt away to safety once again. They did get the tier 3 and they did get the melee racks. Ranged racks still stand. So, can't call it a loss, but Na'Vi, after giving up some building damage, they... Go ahead.
They're going to lose the range racks. The siege is just pummeling through. It's been sitting here for the last 30 seconds.
Oh.
I mean, it's not the hugest deal in the world, but it's a friggin' rack, so that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But, No, C9 still, they're in a fantastic position. They didn't even fight that with a well, they had Luna ulti, but he didn't get to use it. But he has a BKB now, and Bone 7 just straight up bought a Dagon 1. And Mech up online. I think Sing had that last fight, but yeah, this is. Oh, we actually almost have a Scepter on Shadow Shaman. He's not even level 9, and he's gonna have this in about 300 gold, less than 300 gold. So.
3, 4, and 6 on Pile Die, and yeah, needs every bit of 350 gold-ish to get that bad boy up and running. And this is, yeah, I mean, what can you say? Haven't even looked at the gold graph. There's been too much action. You ready for this? Booms. Oh my goodness. That's more than I thought. I was expecting near 10,000, but below. 14,000, in excess of 14,000. That's almost 1,000 gold per minute lead C9 has built to this point. And not just built, but held. It's one thing to get a big burst of gold and have the graph reflect that for temporarily, especially in the early game. But we're coming up on 20 minutes in. They just took another tower, and they've managed to maintain this rate for quite some time. And the net worth, again, is just insane. They have the top 4 in overall CS, and now running right up onto the tier 3 again. Down go the wards once again. Ice Path did catch Eternal Imp, but he has to get out. There's going to be a good coil. Katu and Boat 7 using the Dagon to clean up one more. And Dendi can do nothing to run away. Chronic actually got a good 3-man stomp. There's a Stampede. Bone's going to be great grave from AUI, and Eternal Envy clearing house by popping the Eclipse. And now going to work on what remains of that tier 3. Dendi has to buy back. Kuro's still down. They're going to use the Glyph, but this might be about all she wrote one way or the other. They should for sure get that. There's going to be the Haunt to try and make something happen. Bone 7's down to about half health. Here comes Savos. He's got a Blade Mail up. And now Pile Die segregated out from the rest of everyone else. He actually ran backwards. That's so smart. Running towards the base to make them turn around and chase you. Sing barely makes it away. Good Searing Chains is going to catch AUI in front of the fight. We've got 2, but no damage there. Funnick makes him pay for it. The tier 3 did end up dropping behind the fight. And Sunstrike, oh, what a shot! Sing making plays from the fountain. 20-10, Cloud9 takes another tier 3. Na'Vi defends their racks this time, but yeah, the gold ain't looking any more encouraging.
It's just keep getting worse, yeah.
Holy crap, you see that stat? Teams with a 13K gold lead or more in 20 minutes are undefeated, 616-0.
Please don't be that 617th C9. It would not be a good feeling. I mean, yeah, at least they defended the racks. That's a small win, I suppose, for Na'Vi. And you saw when the heroes are separated that the Desolate damage from Spectre it actually is quite impressive. But I mean, you can only do so much as a Spectre, and you can only do so much when that Haunt's off cooldown. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard for C9 to throw this, I feel. Bone 7 though, starting off with a death here in mid. That's a lot of gold for Dendi too, and much needed.
Yep, 924. And Bone's been on point, man. He really has. I just want to see CS-wise. 19 minutes, 118. That's slowed down a lot because they've just been pushing towers basically for a living. 5 of the top 6 in total net worth are all on the side of C9. Only one, as you would imagine, in range is Havos Spectre. After that, Centaur Warrunner is sitting at the same net worth, no, actually about 1,000 gold behind net worth, as the 5 position Dazzle. That's been the game that Na'Vi had thus far, but I don't think C9 is going to fall asleep at the wheel, man. They already tasted that in game 1.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're not going to take anything chance here. But that being said, I don't think that they should give any opening. I mean, they are at a huge lead, but you know, again, you're playing up against the Spectre and Ember. You don't want to give them any kind of opening or any chance to get back in this game. So, I still think that yeah, they can play this safe, but they have all the items. They have the momentum going for them. They should try to press these bottom racks and just throw down the wards, play it a little bit more safely, and I think they'll be fine.
Rushing down bottom, they've got 3 hanging out in the jungle, just taking some jungle CS. Looks like Na'Vi might try to do something cute, take the tier 2 before coming home to defend. Havos is going to hang there at least for the moment. He'll obviously use Haunt when things get troublesome in the shadow of what used to be their tier 3 bottom. But C9, everything's off cooldown. They're ready to go. Go to wards. That's going to be Scepter ward. By the way, Ice Path is there. Didn't really catch much of anything. Weave sure did. Here comes Savos in, though. They're going to engage off of that, and there we go. There's the Eclipse. Savos is dropping so fast and ends up down behind it. Bone, in the meantime, jump behind and still gets the Dagon kill. Dendi's going to be able to burn him down when all's said and done, but I honestly don't know that it matters. Spectre was forced to buy back. And at this point, trying to play cleanup. Look at the damage output they have.
SPG.
Yeah.
SPG. They can't come back from this.
No way. There it is. Havos calls it. So C9, after giving up what had to be one of the most disappointing losses they've had in recent memory in Game 1 against Na'Vi. A game in which they led 7-0 mere minutes into the game and couldn't manage to close the door. They bounce back, execute a very tough lineup in Game 2.